Hi there. Last time I caught up with Derrick McKenzie from Jamiroquai in our friend Jerome's garden. Here's the second part of that interview. Hope you enjoy it.
Did you ever have a light bulb moment in terms of learning to play the drums? You suddenly thought, yes, I can do this.
No, well, it never kind of came to me until I was about 10.
Yeah.
With a guy called Kenrick Rowe. He's like a jazz drummer.
Yeah.
He's based down in South London, but he used to live like in the house opposite.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the gardens, terraced houses, you've got the gardens and all
Yeah.
that. So he used to live in the house opposite. He played in a band, a reggae band at the time. And then he started doing his jazz thing and all that and everything. And then I went to see him rehearse and he just said to me, do you know, he saw me play and he just said to me, do you know any rudiments? And I was like, I don't know what rudiments are. I'm just playing what I hear, you know.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, right, okay, because you've got really good sense of rhythm, but you're a little bit, the coordination's a little bit out, that's all, you know. So he actually sat down and wrote down some rudiments for me and I went out and I bought a book and everything. But he was the guy that said to me, you can actually play.
Yeah,
you know,
I remember when I was very young, I was about 13 in my mum and dad's kitchen. I was playing a couple of those bongos you can buy on the seaside now. You know,
oh, right, yeah.
And there was a friend of my mum's there who was a virtually blind piano player. He was an albino, white-haired blind piano. He was a brilliant piano player. He used to rock it as he played it. Yeah, he was a great player, great musician. But anyway, I was playing these bongos in the kitchen and he said, yes, Spike, you got it. You got rhythm. You know?
Really?
And I was, at the time, a bit insecure about whether it was worth bothering with.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that he said that, even though it was only a couple of bongos in between my knees, I thought, right, well, I have them. So you had that as well.
That was my light bulb moment. I mean, my dad knew from way before.
Yeah.
You know, and his brother, my dad's brother, knew that I would be doing something to do with music, but what, they didn't quite know.
Do you get this thing when you're sitting behind the kit and it's all comfortable and it's all going really well?
Yeah.
It's like you're at home.
Yeah.
This is your, like, it's like your living room.
Yeah.
There's the crash, there's the other one, there's the ride.
Yeah, and it's all just there.
It's all looking at it.
It's like a remote control.
Your friends, they're like your mates, you know.
No, I get that a lot. I do get that a lot. Yeah. I have to admit, over the years, I've actually changed my setup.
Yeah.
You know, like adjusted it more so that I play more upright and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
I love the look of them as they're upright.
High. They're quite flat. They're flat.
Yeah.
But it's very close and very easy to get to. And a lot of people sit behind my kit, right-handed players, because I'm left-handed, right? So right-handed people get behind my kit and they actually go, it really feels comfortable, and you know, they can actually play it.
Even though they're not left-handed.
They can actually play the drums because it's actually comfortable for them to reach, you know. If Jay gets on it, he can play it.
Does Jay play drums?
Not really, no, but yeah,
but he can have a
tinkle.
He can knock out a bit.
You know, he can knock a beat.
Yeah.
You know, he can knock a beat out. You know, Rob gets on it, he can play it. Scholler gets behind it.
Yeah.
And Scholler would stay like an hour.
Exactly. If a drummer goes out of a rehearsal room for a pee or something, there's always going to be someone on the kit.
There'll be somebody on the kit within 5 seconds.
Yeah. Because it's such people are drawn to drums, aren't they? You know,
exactly.
Even if they can't. Even if they're too shy to have a bash or something, they'll at least tap it. They'll tap the drum.
Yeah.
They can't not touch it.
Cymbal.
Yeah.
They just walk by.
The drum, it's a sort of a...
That's him, right, okay.
Camaraderie is the thing about drummers, isn't it? I mean, drummers always get on well, you know, and there's this thing which, you know, there's this rather jokey thing that, you know, if you put a room full of guitarists together, there'll be a fight. If you put a room full of bass players together, they'll probably fall asleep. But if you put a room of drummers together, there'll be a party. So there seems to be this...
Well, that's true. If you do get a load of drummers, as I found out last year at the London Drum Show.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there, right, okay. So literally, it was like, after the London Drum Show, everybody talks about having a drink afterwards. Where are you going afterwards? Oh, the pub across the road. All right, see you there.
It's full of drummers.
And it's full of drummers, which is great. Because then, you know, it creates that a really good atmosphere.
Again, you see, the reason there are so many drummers now is that you can now learn to play drums and not upset anyone, you know, because you can have a practice kit with headphones, it's electronic, and to practice. It's not the same as playing a real kit, but it's enough to learn the rudiments. Also, you know, when I was 12, drumming was for a pop group was a bit naughty, really. I mean, you know, it's sort of you're not supposed to. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of because it's not, drums weren't as readily available. They were more expensive then.
Yeah,
it's a generation thing, isn't it?
Yes,
pop music when I was 12 was a bit, you know, sort of flippant, really, you know. But folks didn't really like pop music, you know. They liked classical music and jazz, and then, and of course their grandparents were frowned upon for going dancing. You know, dancing was naughty, and being on the stage was naughty. You know, whereas now drumming isn't naughty at all.
It's actually seen as a really cool thing to do.
I mean, at the college near where I live, West Herts, I did a talk there recently to the first year drummer students.
Okay.
When I was 12, you couldn't learn to play the drums at school.
That's very true. Yeah.
You could learn to play the timpani if as an extra, you know, an extra curriculum activity, but you couldn't.
We didn't even have drum lessons when I was at school.
No, we didn't even. There wasn't even a drum kit.
I was totally self-taught, and I was probably like yourself, totally self-taught, and I think I had like a couple of lessons.
Did you learn by just listening to other people?
Just listening to records and buying loads of music, really, and through my friends who kind of introduced me to the whole Billy Cobham thing and all that, you know, and they were the ones that kind of got me really going on it.
And were you in many bands before Jamiroquai?
I did. Yeah, I did. I definitely did. I did a few sessions.
Yeah.
The very first band I joined was a reggae band called Pure and Simple. Yeah. Which was actually, the singer was a girl in my class who said, "I've got a band. Do you want to come and play for my band?" I was like, "Yeah, all right then. Why not?" You know, it was only whatever, 13 or something. Yeah. And then I joined a jazz funk band called Transients. Yeah. So it's doing like kind of crazy jazz funk, mad timing stuff. Yeah. A few years down the line, my main professional band was a band called Candyland back in the 80s. You know, doing like kind of indie dance stuff. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. I joined Urban Species after that and stuff. You know.
And then the Jamiroquai.
And then the Jamiroquai thing kind of followed on through that.
What's your favourite kind of place to play? Is it the big stadiums that you do, or is it the smaller, more personal?
I like the small. Yeah. Yeah, the small, intimate.
And I imagine gigs. The stadium stuff is you're a bit more out of touch of.
We try to keep it as compact as possible. As compact
as you can.
But there's only so small you can be on a
audience. That some of them could be miles away.
Yeah, exactly.
And hence the Stones Bridges to Babylon thing, where they put the bridge.
That's right.
Down into because they were getting closer to the.
Exactly.
But, you know, the old thing about Mick Jagger being that size, or someone being that size, even Jay being that size.
I know.
They took themselves right into the
crowd. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, Jay's good because he works the crowd. He works the stage. He's really good at running across the stage. And if he's got a walkway at the front, he'll use it. Yeah. He'll definitely use it.
And how important is your relationship with your drum tech?
It needs to be good. My drum tech, Simon Difford, he's amazing.
Presumably a drummer as well.
He's a drummer. He is a drummer, you know, and he plays really well. And of course, my kit's left-handed. Yeah. And he's worked out a way to play my kit, to sound check it. Before I even get there and everything. So even if I don't need to actually go in and play, I know it's going to be right.
Yeah. And if you say broke your leg 5 minutes before a gig, he could probably play the drums. Yeah.
He could possibly play the gig. Yeah. It'd be a little bit awkward for him, but
But as an emergency, you know, Jay would announce the fact that you'd broken your leg and say, "Well, we got a not. We know a man who." You know, touch wood. Probably not. No. Touching a lot of wood. And how about percussion? Playing with a percussionist, does that bring more joy to the process?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our percussionist Shola, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, and his background is a Nigerian background, so it's African. Yeah. African background, so he plays slightly different. His rhythms are different to, say, the Latin based player. Yeah, you know, his rhythms are totally different, and I have to say they're simpler. Yeah, but they're still very, very rhythmic. Yeah, and you can hear that influence in the music. Yeah, whether it be the congas or the bongos or the shakers and things, you hear that influence.
And when it comes in, when they kick in, it lifts the whole.
It lifts the whole thing.
I had that with a band called Speaking in Tongues. We played the Borderline a lot years ago in the 90s, early 90s. We had a conga player, amongst other percussionists. We had a conga player called Alpha Kane, who was a French-Algerian headmaster at a secondary school and Conservative candidate for his area. But he was a wild conga player as well.
Wow.
Great player, but whenever he came up, if say we rehearsed and he couldn't turn up or something, it was so different when he could actually turn up. As soon as he kicked in with it, it just lifted
the whole thing
up. Because it was that kind of a band. Yes. It was sort of similar to Jamiroquai in its sort of groove.
Okay. But Shola is a very good. It's also very inspiring as well. Yeah. That's the other thing with Shola. You know, even though his bits go and last when we're recording, when it's live, he tends to kind of give it a bit more of a lift. Yeah. You know, because I think. When we're actually playing live together, he's then inspired by like what I do and adjusting his bits.
There's going to be some spur.
Because he does a lot of layering as well. He does a lot of layering when he's playing. You know? So he's doing like kind of 4 things, just like the drummer. He's doing like 4. He's one hand's here, another hand's over there, or one foot's doing something else. You know, playing tambourine. And we do tend to kind of feed off each other as well.
And that's kind of the point of playing live, is it brings it back to this natural element of it all, this sort of nature thing that, you know, it's all about communication. Well, it's not just drums, but guitars, keyboards, bass, singing. It's all about communication, and it's a very sincere form of communication, isn't it, music? So,
but you do. The good thing about Jamiroquai as a band, whether we're playing as a band or whether we're doing separate things, we do have the discipline with each other to give each other space.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what makes us kind of unique in that sort of sense. You know, a lot of people hear us and they go, "Oh my gosh, they sound great," but we sound great because we're giving each other.
Yeah, because there's a lot of instrumentalists, a lot of vocalists and whatever, but you've
got to give everybody the space, give Jay space to sing, give the girls to do their bits, you know, horns to do their bits, you know, it's not about overplaying, because I've seen some people play and they just like going bananas.
Yeah, it's got completely like a wall of noise.
Is it a talent contest or what's going on? Do you know what I mean? You know, who's the best player? So I don't give a shit, you know, nobody cares.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about therapy, isn't it, drumming, I suppose, to a degree. I mean, do you do workouts and swimming and stuff like that as well as playing the drums?
I run.
Yeah.
I run.
And does that help in terms of playing?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it helps with the, it helps you to breathe and to play more efficiently.
Yeah. I mean, I used to swim a lot, but I got fed up with it because the whole rigmarole that goes with it, like the changing room and all this sort of stuff and all that nonsense. And now you can't go swimming without listening to music all the time.
Right.
These kids are putting on Beyonce while you're trying to swim, and I like the sound of the water.
Just the water.
You know? Just the sort of soporific sound. And I mean, that, you know, I didn't do it before gigs, but I would do it 3 or 4 times a week. I'd go swimming maybe 40, 50 lengths a time.
Wow.
Just because I think it's actually good for your...
Yeah.
But
good therapy.
Drumming alone probably is, but...
It is, but because for us, it's a job.
Yeah.
You know, but you need to find something outside of your job that helps you to relax. And for me, running is that. And I just put my headphones on and I just run around the area where I am, you know. Yeah. So I actually don't need to go to the gym as such. No. Because I've kind of worked out through trainers that I've had previously what I can do. I could work out my own little schedule and stuff. So, you know, I could run for 45 minutes, 50 minutes and then do skipping afterwards and then do some other bits after that and do some other bits.
So you don't need to negotiate lockers at all?
No. Plus I live out in the country, so it's everything.
So everything's just run
there. Run around and it's fine.
Derrick, you've been around for a while in this business. How does it compare today with what it used to be like, say, 20 years ago?
It's changed. Drastically changed. Number one, drum machines.
Yeah.
That was the start of the downfall.
So it's the start of it all. Yeah.
The good thing musically, it's kind of come in full circle now because drummers are now quite good to be seen, you know, in the band.
Live drums is
live drummers is a good thing. But yeah, you know,
it's such an attractive instrument to play, and it's come back to take its rightful seat.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, there is a lack of women drummers though.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And there are more girls playing drums, but I think there should be more.
Wasn't she Karen Carpenter? Wasn't she great, Karen Carpenter?
No, she's amazing.
She's a great drummer.
One of the first.
That's what she loved doing most of all, was playing drums.
Playing drums rather than singing.
She only sang because she was told to, but I think she wanted to play drums all the time. Derrick, Mad, Bad and Dangerous.
Yep.
What do you reckon if I was to ask you about it? What do you reckon?
I could say it's definitely a great book with lots of stories to be had. You know,
if we did another one, would you want to be part of it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I'd definitely be part of it.
2.
And if you're doing a part 2, part 3, and if you're doing the old DVD, I'll do everything. Yeah.
Great.
Definitely. I'm definitely up for being part of this. It's fantastic.
Excellent.
Really good.
Derrick, thanks so much for coming.
No problem.
Maybe we'll chat again another time.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to
because you're not far away, are you?
So just up the road.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward
to... Well, go for a beer sometime or whatever as well.
Yeah. That'd be great. Cheers.
Oh, hi! Hope you enjoyed that interview with our friend Derrick McKenzie from Jamiroquai. Another one coming up soon. That's Kevin Morris from Dr. Feelgood, so look out for that. In the meantime, please always remember to like, subscribe and share with all your friends. Cheers.
On the borderline.
Yeah.
Did you ever get this thing about...
This has just come from
It's all right, we can edit that.
We will, don't worry. We'll keep this in, shall we?
Well, this could be a part of the outtakes.
Technical, technical bits.
Can you chuck us those sunglasses?
Sorry, I'm still.
Cheers.
That's nice.
Thanks, guys.
These are round specs.
You can't see out of them at all. I don't think. You can't actually see hardly anything.
Chat for a bit, sitting down.
Yeah.
Beers.
Beers.
More beers.
That interview with Derrick.
That's it, wait.
And Derrick, thanks so much for coming to talk to us today. And,
Great. Is that us? Oh, come on.